I mean, this could have been done days ago. Quit turning off on me. That's kind of concerning. Don't tell me that shit. This car's not happy. It's not running right at all. I don't want to cause any other damage to the car, or I don't want to cause any other issues. What's going on, and welcome back. So as you saw in the last video, Project Stepchild is on the road and running, but we are not free from issues. I did run into a little bit of issue when I went on the test drive, and that issue is that I tried to give it a little gas and see how she pulled, and the car didn't seem to want to accelerate. So got back home and contacted Speed Addict 731 and asked him what he thought about it, and he said read the codes, because I did get a check engine light. It was flashing but then went away. So he said definitely read the codes and see what you have. So I got several misfire codes and a general misfire code, which means that the computer picked up a misfire but can't indicate which cylinder it's coming from. So long story short, after some research, I found out that whenever you change or whenever you work on the transmission, if you pull the transmission, clutch, flywheel, anything in that area, that can upset the, I think it's called the reluctor ring on the crankshaft. Basically, it is the ring on the crankshaft that the crank sensor picks up as the crank turns to let the computer know where the crankshaft is. So I was not aware of that beforehand, but I did find out, thank goodness, and now we can try to resolve that issue. So I went ahead and ordered an N-Gauge from Palm Beach Dyno, and finally got it after a fiasco of it traveling to Raleigh, North Carolina for some stupid reason, and then coming back. I mean, this could have been done days ago. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We've got it, so we're going to try to do something with it. Hopefully that will help me resolve the issue. With the N-Gauge, you can do a crankshaft relearn, and I should be able to do a cam reset, which is a keep alive memory. So hopefully that will clear everything, clear the codes, and we'll be able to drive the car and it'll act and run as normal. So let me show you what we got. So here's the N-Gauge. I mean, this is probably nothing new or unfamiliar to you guys, but I did get the windshield mount. I did want to get that so that I can have it mounted in the car. I didn't want to mount it in any one of the vents because mine's a performance pack car and I'm short one vent anyway because of the performance pack gauges. But that's what we got there, is the N-Gauge, to hopefully solve the running issue and get rid of those misfire codes and all that good stuff. In my last video, I mentioned that the clutch was catching really close to the floor. Now, to try to combat that issue, I went ahead and got a vacuum pump and followed the Ford procedure on bleeding the slave cylinder for the clutch. So hopefully that's good. That's already been complete. I did follow the procedure that Ford does themselves. So any technician at a Ford dealership, that's the procedure they're going to use, and Speed Addict 731 verified that. So that's already done, so hopefully that issue is corrected. The only other issue, which is not really an issue that I have with the car, is getting the boot secured, the inner boot secured, and then the outer boot, getting that back on and getting it tidied up in the interior. So since this swap is basically designed for 11 to 14 cars, I had to get an inner boot for 11 to 14, and I'm thinking that in order for me to be able to attach that, I'm gonna have to use this little adapter. Sorry for the shadow. So I think I'm gonna have to use this little adapter. And I had a 2012 Mustang. I've got videos of it on the channel, but this was in that car, and I think I'll be able to secure that inner boot around it and maybe the outer boot around here. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to try to use this for that and see if I can get everything sealed up. That's not really an issue. It's just, you know, things to tidy up in the interior. So anyway, we're going to get busy on the car. We're going to see what we can do with getting Project Stepchild to run correctly and be able to drive the car. I either need to drive it, or I'm either going to drive it today or tomorrow. Today we may do some work on the Nova. I don't know yet, but I have to get this done in order to drive the car and get some miles on it, because I don't want to damage anything. I really don't want to mess the engine up. Definitely not. But let's get busy, let's get to it, let's get the N-Gauge in, and let's see what we can do. All right, so as my luck would have it, the N-Gauge will not run the crank relearn without being married to the car, and unfortunately it doesn't marry to the car until you get a tune. So it's the weekend, so I'm not able to get the tune from Palm Beach Dyno. I sent the email with the stock tune information from the car to get my tune, but haven't got a reply back, and I doubt I will till, you know, a business day. But I did post online to the HP Tuners Facebook group, and had a guy in there that was able to help me out. I sent him the stock configuration. He wrote a tune for it, a stock tune, and so that I can load that tune, it'll marry to the car, and I can do the crank relearn. So hopefully that'll work, and I'll be able to do the crank relearn, get everything running right, get everything happy, and then we can drive today. So here we go. We're going to see what happens and go from there. Tuning, load tune. There is the tune file. And well, it's 101, so I should be able to hit a check. Flash this tune. Yes, I think we'll need to turn the car on in order to do that. So let's power the car on, which I didn't do. Turn key on, do not start engine. Alright, so like he told me, it's going to save the stock calibration again, and then it will load the new tune. So this can take a little bit of time, so instead of boring you guys with watching that bar move across, we'll shut the camera off, and once it's done we'll be back, so hang tight. Alright, so the tune is loaded, and it said turn the car off for 10 seconds and then start the vehicle. So here we go. Get that cold start. It's a little chilly today. Alright, so we'll let it get warmed up, and we'll see if we can't get that crank relearn done. Stick with me. Alright, so we've got the car warmed up, and man, we're gonna see if this works. We're gonna see if we can get into the crankshaft relearn on the N-Gauge. So man, let's see what happens. Let's see. Alright, so engine off, Then we got a key on. Let's see what happens. Found it. Press OK to continue. Okay, so there is the crank relearn. Let's see what happens here. Gives you a warning. Should only be used if it is needed, which mine definitely needs it because we did change out the clutch and flywheel. We'll check it, verify operation, begin crank relearn. Yes. Make sure engine is running and vehicle is in park, auto, or neutral with parking brake set, which we are. AC and defroster off. Do not put vehicle in gear at any time during the process. Alright, so let's start it back up. And we'll hit the check mark. Bring RPM to 4230 and hold. I was only supposed to do it briefly. My fault. Quit doing that. Bring it to 4230, hold briefly, and release. Alright, it says crank relearn complete, so man, hopefully that does it. Quit turning off on me. So hit that. So hopefully that'll do it. I'm gonna double check on the cam reset, keep alive memory, make sure that's something that we need to do as well, and be right back. All right, so as you saw, we were able to do the crank relearn, and I was also able to do the cam reset. So man, here we go. Kind of like the second first drive, if you want to say. I really hope that I got the clutch slave cylinder free of air, and that the clutch catches a little higher. It was pretty low, so we're about to find out on that as well. So here we go.
Let's go.
Still really low. I'm not sure what's going on with that. That's kind of concerning. I don't like that at all, honestly. So I'm not sure what's up with the clutch. It's engaging super low, man. I don't know. Man, I don't know what to do. We checked everything. Everything measured out right. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Bled it as per the Ford procedure. That's frustrating because, man, I can't have it catch that low. Drag racing, I mean, I can't sit there and have to think about mashing the clutch pedal all the way to the floor. That is going to make for some really slow shifts. I don't know what to think about that, honestly. Alright, so the issues with Project Stepchild are not over. Having the same issues, basically. Same as before, other than I haven't got a check engine light. But I'm going to pull codes as soon as I get back to the house. So basically what's happening, first of all, the clutch is still catching like just off the floor. That is no good. That's not going to work. I think it's really hindering the transmission from going into gear well. You know, trying to put in reverse you know, from a dead stop or trying to put them to first. It just, man, it just doesn't want to go. The second issue is in third gear and fifth gear, when I kind of just roll into the gas a little bit, it doesn't want to go. It'll actually kind of decelerate. And I've got the N gauge running, and I'm looking at total spark, and I'm looking at number one spark, and it looks like to me that for some reason the car is pulling timing. So now why it's doing that, I have no idea. I don't know. And then another issue is the Bowler all-in-one harness. You're supposed to connect to it Bluetooth and set it up, and so you can set up the pulse count for your speed sensor. I did that when I first got everything together. I was able to connect, and I set it, but I can't connect to it. So there's definitely something going on there, and you know, this car is not happy. It is not happy. I don't know, man. I really thought that, you know, I knew it wasn't going to drive the best because it's not tuned yet. Haven't gotten my tune from Palm Beach Dyno yet, which is understandable because, you know, I didn't get the N gauge until yesterday, which was Saturday. So I don't know. I'm trying to put miles on this car, and I've got 38.6 right now, but it's not running right at all. I don't want to cause any other damage to the car, or I don't want to cause any other issues. So, you know, I really don't know what's going on. But once I get home, I'm going to pull codes and see if anything comes up there. But I don't know, man. This is frustrating as hell. I mean, I at least expected it to kind of act normal. You know, I don't know what's going on. So we'll see what happens. I'll contact Bowler and, you know, see what they say about the harness. Maybe I just got a bad unit, which sucks because that means I got to get back under the car and somehow get that harness off, and it runs over the transmission. I don't know. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Going back to the house to park the car. Not gonna be able to log any miles on it today, which sucks. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. We'll try to get it figured out, and then hopefully be back, you know, putting miles on it. But anyway, hope you like this video. It sucks, but you know, I can't do nothing about it right now. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll see you on the next one.